Right, well, it's bright and early on a Saturday morning and I'm back in the garage for another little job. As though I didn't have enough of these little jobs to do, I've created myself one more. I was looking at insulation and what to do about keeping some sort of warmth in the boat potentially. And diesel heaters does seem to be an option, but I don't think I want to go down that route. So instead, I got led down a rabbit hole of heating and lighting via paraffin lamps. And being the impetuous muppet that I am, went out and picked up this, which is a 1989 Tilley, I think it's a 171 lamp, paraffin. It's seen better days, but then so have I. So I'm just going to have it as a little side project to restore it back to its former glory, get it working hopefully, and then it will give off light and heat in the boat should I need it. And if I don't need it, then hopefully it'll look pretty decent. So I guess first thing to do is to take it apart. I'm presuming that this is soot, but then again, maybe not actually, because there's some sort of string, so it may well be that some sort of replacement parts are going to be needed, because that's proper gone to pot. We shall see. Put that to one side. The trusty penetrating oil spray on some of the bits that look like they should come apart. There's a little split pin just in here, which I can find my spanner. And that looks in pretty decent condition actually. Just shy of a bit of a clean, not a lot else for that bit. Meanwhile, back over here, am I getting? Yeah. More in the way of replacement seals are going to be needed. These are just falling apart left, right and centre. However, we've revealed the original colour. So we know what we're aiming for, and if I can get it back to that, this is very, well, yeah, I don't know, it's hard to say. If I can get it back to that colour, then it'll be all right. This. Well, that tarnishing will all come off by the look of it, and yeah, so that much is restorable. What about the rest of it? There's a few little bits of corrosion there, or rust.
I am saying that I need something a little stronger. See if a little bit of emery paper makes a difference. Yeah.
Right, so fast forward a few days, because I've been waiting for this to arrive. This is basically a refurbishment kit of the various seals and the mantle which you need for the Tilley lamp to replace when you've taken it apart, which I have done. And as you will see, we've got the hood and the glass there. We have a lot of bits arrayed out, even more, and I have polished up the base, which I think has come up really rather nicely. There's a couple of dents, but nothing substantial. One thing I didn't have, however, was one of those. This is the preheater which you basically fill with meths, set fire to it, and then clamp it around the tube in the middle of the Tilley lamp, that one on the right there, to heat it up. The one I bought didn't come with it, so I went on Facebook Marketplace to see if there was somebody selling one, and they were, but then it also came with another Tilley lamp. So now I have two Tilley lamps, but that's okay. I'm only going to restore one, for the time being at least. And so with that in mind, I'm going to get my camera set up so that you don't have to put up with my shaky hands, and we'll see how we go on. What I am going to be doing is using this one to make sure I know how these go back together, because for a light, there's a lot of little pieces. So let's get set up and off we go. Right, so we're going to start with this, which is the pump bit. I've got, just out of shot down here, the one from my newer purchase. I've also got, just out of shot, the instructions, which are quite useful. So I know that if we start at this end, I'll give that a little wipe over, I'll put it back on. And that holds that on there. So what I've done is I've actually taken this spring out of the new one, and then this is one of the new seals that came in the refurb kit. So that should hopefully sit on there long enough while I screw this on. And that looks to be all we have at that point. I think that's the old one. Well, actually it smells quite kerosene-y, so maybe it isn't. No, it's not. That's the old one. So that is now being replaced. And then moving further up, we've got this, which has the rod or the knob on one end. And then if I take this one apart, just so we can see what we've got there. So that's completely empty apart from that going around the outside, so that's that one. And that has a washer in the bottom, and I have the old one there, so I'm going to move that out of the way, and this is the new washer. So that will create a nice seal when it's screwed back in there. And then looking at this little doodad, we're going to put that on there like so, and then we've got what looks like a little spring, and then I don't know how well you can see, but inside there we've got a little bronze horseshoe clip on top of this is leather, I think, sort of bellows. So I need to find that off mine, which is there. So that goes on like so, and then working our way up, we then need to put on the metal washer. I'm just going to take that off. Just to check there's nothing else underneath it. No, it doesn't appear to be. So it's just a case of, so that's the old leather bit. So it's just a case of popping that on top, finding my little horseshoe clip, which will go on next, and just hopefully push that back into position. Okay, so that's on. So that can now go on there. And then the little one, no, there should be an even smaller one somewhere. There it is. Right, so that can go back there. Now, one of the notes that it says is when reassembling the pump, take care not to pucker the leather when refitting the plunger. So I'm guessing they mean don't break that when you put it in that. Not entirely sure how I'm supposed to do that, because then screw that down. Okay, I'm going to pop that back in the lamp base for the time being. Move that back out of the way. So we've got our bits to bin over there, and then we can move on to the rest of the assembly. Alright, apologies, as you will see from the change of camera angle and the change in the audio, I've had to take out my mic because the camera was, or the phone was running low. Right, so I'm sorry, I was just checking that I hadn't lost a piece, but I do not appear to have lost a piece, so that's good. So we're moving to the very top now, and it's pretty much just a question of screwing the various bits back in. I haven't bothered to clean these because they're going to get covered in paraffin anyway. Okay, so that's not going anywhere. Right, now, slightly alarmingly, I've got a few bits left over. Well, I think I've used that one. Not entirely sure what that is. I don't think that nut is anything to do with it. I thought I dropped some stuff on the floor, so I just picked it all up. But you know what, I should probably put this stand bit back on first. Do you know what? I'm going to worry about that tomorrow because I don't have any paraffin. I think I've got some meths around here somewhere if the wife hasn't drunk it. But the meths is only for the starter. The paraffin is for the thing itself. So I'm going to... Right, so it's the next day and I've had a little look at what I've been doing wrong. In short, we have a small hole up here and a bigger hole here, and the bigger hole has an outscale. I'm not sure if you can see it with the light, but there's a bit of a groove just there. So the bigger hole needs to go around that groove and the little hole needs to go around that groove. So this could be fun. I'm going to just leave that off for the moment because I have a few other bits and pieces. Key amongst them is some paraffin. Second, it's some methylated spirits for the starter. And finally, because Mama Bennett didn't raise no fools, a fire extinguisher just in case it all goes horribly wrong. No. Right, not sure what's going on there. As things stand, it looks good, but doesn't really serve any practical purpose, not unlike myself. Right, I'm going to go and see if I can edit this into some sort of content. If anybody's got any bright ideas as to what I'm doing wrong, try and keep it to a relatively short list and post it in the comments. Thanks very much.